What's up, everybody? Chris here from Bull Canyon Outdoors, and today I'm in the BCO garage sweating because it's super hot out here in the desert. But I've got something really cool from RPM Steering, so let's take a look and see what's inside the box. Alright guys, here it is. This is the RPM 1.5-inch aluminum 1-ton steering that goes in the factory location on the JK. It comes with a 36-inch drag link, a 52 3/4-inch tie rod, and of course both ends, and then I got the 1.5-inch clamp there to go with it. It's got some hardware like the Zerk fittings and cotter pins and washers. So let's go ahead and we're going to get the initial assembly done on these, and then we're going to put them in the Jeep. All right, guys, I just noticed we had a bit of a camera malfunction while I was putting this stuff together. I think one of my cameras overheated, so I'm going to go over what I just did. So we've got 2 tie rod ends for each rod. 2 of them are offset in opposite directions, and that goes on the drag link. Then you've got a straight one and an offset one that go on the tie rod. First thing you're going to want to do is thread this all the way down. This nut right here, you want to bring it all the way this direction, exposing all of the threads. Then you're going to slide on one of the serrated Belleville washers, and I slide it on with the cone facing towards the rod. Next up, you want to put a good amount of anti-seize on all those threads. We're going steel into aluminum on this setup, so we want to make sure those threads are full of anti-seize and they're threaded in all the way. Once you've got the nut threaded all the way down, the Belleville washer on, and the anti-seize in the threads, we can go ahead and thread these onto the drag link. One of them's reverse threaded, one of them's standard threaded. This one is the standard threaded side. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to thread that all the way down, most of those threads into the aluminum. Let the anti-seize do its job in there and get this pretty much all the way down in. Now we'll put the other side on. Now that was standard threaded, so obviously this side is going to be reverse threaded. So we're going to lefty-tighty this one on. Always double and triple check which ends go where, and make sure you always get them threaded in the correct direction. With the tie rod ends all lubed up and fitted onto the ends of the drag link and the tie rod, it is now time to take some measurements on the old one, so we have a starting point, and we'll get the old ones off and get these guys installed. All right, guys, welcome back. So I had to take a break last night because it was ridiculously hot. The cameras were overheating and I was sweating like crazy. So now it's 6:20 in the morning. It's only about 90 degrees out, and we're gonna get started putting this on. So first thing I'm gonna do is mark where my tires are, because I'm gonna have to go out and get an alignment, but I can get it super close. I'm gonna mark the tires, then I'm gonna take the wheels and tires off, then I'm gonna measure the tie rod and the drag link just so I have a starting point. So you wanna do center to center of those tie rod ends for your starting point for putting the new ones on. So let's get started. Vehicle jacked up on jack stands, got the rear wheels chocked. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take off the drag link and the tie rod by removing these nuts first, and then we're gonna give this a gentle tap with a mini sledge and it should pop right out. Now I'm gonna take an initial measurement center to center on these guys on both the tie rod and the drag link, so I have a good starting point before I go and get an alignment. Let's get those measurements and we'll get these taken off. All right, these nuts right here are a 21 millimeter, and the factory setting on it was like 75 pound-feet of torque, so I'm not sure that my little gun's gonna get them off. Might have to go to the wrench, but let's take a look. Whoop. And sometimes you get lucky. All right, with the 21 millimeter nuts off of both sides, this is ready to come out. Now, I'm not gonna be reusing these parts at all. They're just gonna go in the trash. So you could pound down on the threads, but I'm gonna show you a little trick to taking them out. Grab a mini sledge, give it a tap. And just like that, it's loose. All right, so now we've got both of the old parts out, and we're gonna triple check our center to center measurements, get the new arms about perfect, and then we'll go ahead and install them. Once you've got both bars on, and these are still relatively loose so they can be adjusted, it's time to torque these down to 75 pound-feet of torque. There we go. And then of course you want to line up the little hole for the cotter pin, which it looks like it's just off a little bit, so I'm just going to crank it just about a 1/16 of a turn and we'll put the cotter pin in. All right guys, there you have it. Everything's done, tightened down, torqued to specs, fully installed. I'm gonna go take it for a test drive to see if my measurements were pretty accurate and see if I need to take it in for an alignment, which I'll probably still do anyways, just to touch it up for anything it needs. So there it is. That's the full install of the RPM 1-ton steering kit for the JK and JKU. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely leave them below. Be glad to hear from you. But for now, from the Volcanian Outdoors Garage, this is Chris signing off. Happy trails, everybody.